Listen to me. Your looks don't matter, okay? As long as you're well put together and you have a certain level of grooming, you take care of yourself, exercise a little bit, eat healthy, you'll be just fine. And I have proof of that. There are plenty of reasons why being attractive doesn't really matter. The first reason, and these are not in particular order, but it don't matter how good you look. If you have a horrible reputation, people do not care. Most people don't. There are going to be people that mess with you behind closed doors, but most people don't. If you're an extremely attractive woman, but you have a bad reputation, if you're an extremely attractive man, but people just constantly spread rumors about what you do, most people are not going to want to deal with you. For one, they're going to be too scared to be a part of the rumors. And for two, they care about what other people think and they don't want to be another person on your list. Usually, when there's a lot of bad rumors about somebody, people would rather talk about the rumors than be a part of the rumors. You know what I'm saying? I know plenty of women that were super, super attractive. Now, I'm not saying these rumors were true. Okay, I would never say the rumors are true, but they had a lot of bad rumors attached to them. And it sucked because these women were nice looking, but none of that mattered. That's just like finding out somebody had a sexual transmitted disease. That's like seeing a fancy car outside that, it looks good. Like the outside look good, everything, the interior look good, but it doesn't drive. And it sucks because you will be a lot of people's enemy if they envy your looks. And, because some people are just born with good looks. Some people are born with bad looks. So it's like you're going to have a lot of envy and it's going to happen. People are going to spread rumors about you, terrible rumors that are not even true. And there's nothing you can do. What you're going to walk around trying to convince people that they're not true. You can't do that. You kind of just got to, just imagine, just think about how much stuff was said behind your back that was not true, that was completely false, that you don't even know about. These conversations were had behind your back and you don't even know about it. And you can kind of sense when people's energy shift, you know, but you never know why. And that could be the reason. Number two, if you are a person that leans into your looks, you're going to just focus strictly on your looks and nothing else. And that is not a good thing. Yeah, you're going to get women if you're a man, and you're going to get a man if you're a woman based off your looks. That's the first step. But what is after that? That is like seeing a huge, beautiful mansion with beautiful grass and but then when you walk in the door, it's an empty home. Now, I know most people will stay, just like in relationships. People stay because the person they're dealing with is attractive. I understand that. But the truth is, you're not going to get pretty far, okay? Yes, you'll have a lot of sexual relations with the opposite sex, but that's it. And that's the problem with feeling like you're too attractive because that's all you're going to focus on. If everywhere you go, you get women's attention, if you're a man, I'm only speaking for men right now. If you're everywhere you go, you get women's attention and you feel like you don't need to do much, then what's the point? Of course, you're not going to do more and work on your personality and try to be funny because you don't need to. Now, for us average men, you got to learn how to talk. You got to learn how to hold a conversation. You got to learn what to say and what not to say. You have to do that. Because we all know as an average man, there's certain things you can't say. And if you're an extremely attractive man, you can say certain things and the women will just laugh it off because they find you attractive. You get what I'm saying? In my opinion, that's better. Being a person with a total package as far as personality, take care of yourself, pleasant person, that's better. Just think about this, okay? Just think about this. When you see somebody attractive, right? That's the first thing you're gonna see. You're attractive. Whip-de-doo. This person looks good. Okay. But after a while, how much does their attractive actually matter? Not that much. Because when you're around somebody, get to know them, everything about them, then all of a sudden the layers start coming off and you actually see if this is a person that you actually have a connection with. And I'm not even talking about just love. I'm talking about just relationships and period. Like friendships. Perfect example when you're with a coworker. When you're at work, you don't just be looking for the person and be like, oh, this person's attractive. You don't say that every day. You probably say that when you first meet them, but after that, you get to know the person. You're like, oh, this person's super cool. Blah, blah, blah. Maybe one random day you look at the person and be like, yeah, they're not that attractive. They're kind of on the ugly side. But after that, who gives a shit? And that's why I feel like looks don't matter. Okay. They're a part of it. You know, you want to be attracted to the partner and you want to be attractive to your partner. But the most attractive thing in my eyes is good personality and being a good person, being somebody that pushes out good energy, somebody that you can be around, somebody that knows how to hold a conversation. And people don't talk about it much because when you go online, people are just trying to look good. They're not trying to be a good person. They're not trying to show people their good side. I mean, their good side, like attractive wise, but not their good side of, the good things about them. Looks are important to a small degree. You want to be presentable. You want people to take you serious, so you have to be presentable. But if you're grooming yourself to a certain extent, you're taking showers, you're brushing your teeth, you're doing the simple things, you're working out a little bit, you're eating a little healthy, that's enough. They're saying that it's a small percentage of people that are actually attractive in the whole world. And if that is true, if I'm going to believe you, okay? Because I usually when I see statistics, I take them with a grain of salt. Okay? If the statistics are true, then why are there so many marriages? Why are people getting married left and right? Why are there so many relationships? Looks don't matter as much as people state it. Because at the end of the day, looks are subjective. Yes, there's a people that are just drop dead gorgeous, undeniable, but the rest of us, insecurity comes from being unsure. And most of us are just unsure. Yeah, we have our days where we feel like we look good, but who knows who's actually attractive? I don't know. If your looks mattered so much, why is most attractive people single? I always want to get the obvious stuff out the way. The obvious thing is if you truly are attractive, you're most likely going to be picky with the person that you actually end up with. You're not going to just take anything. Just like if you was a super clean person, you're not going to get in a relationship with a dirty person. The second obvious thing, when you see an attractive person, you're going to assume that they're in a relationship. You're going to assume that they're with somebody. You're not going to assume that this person's single. They look too good. That's the way you and me think. There might be a lot of lonely, attractive people out there. Hopefully they got a pet or something. That's messed up. Exactly. If people always assume that you're in a relationship, you're never going to be in a relationship unless this person don't mind being a side piece. Location. Usually people that feel like they're attractive migrate to the same area, especially during vacation. They're going to go to places where the weather is pretty nice. Would you agree? Like a Miami, a California. What I'm saying is, if you go to a place where a whole bunch of attractive people are, your looks are not going to matter because you're just going to blend in. Okay, it's not going to matter. But here goes the sad part. There might be a lot of lonely, attractive people out there. Think about it. If they're getting hated by a lot of people, probably won't have any friends. And what do you do when you see an attractive person? You assume they're in a relationship. So they're probably single. Hopefully they got a pet or something. That's messed up.